Nigeria is seeking to collaborate with Cote d'Ivoire to improve infrastructure and agricultural manufacturing as part of its strategy to diversify the economy and boost export growth. During a recent diplomatic tour, Foreign Affairs Minister Yusuf Tuggar emphasized the need for increased intra-African trade to strengthen the continent's global competitiveness. Briefing members of the Diplomatic Correspondent Association of Nigeria in Abuja, Tuggar said Africa's trade is lacking when compared with 67% of trade in Europe and 57% in Asia regions. He added that to change this, critical infrastructure investments such as improved roads, railways, electricity, and fiber optics are needed for businesses to thrive.
This is part of what ECOWAS is trying to do vis-a-vis ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme and specific infrastructure projects that are taking place. We are already growing cashews here, but we're looking to improve our yield, improve our output. So instead of looking to another part of the world to do so, why don't we look at the number one producer in the world, that is our neighbor, Cote d'Ivoire. And this is what we're doing, and this is why the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cote d'Ivoire, Minister Adamo, said, look, we are prepared to share the knowledge and the experience that we have, and we should bring together the producers, the manufacturers, and others within that sector. So this is what we're going to do with regards to that. And we also have a common interest when it comes to the export, collective export of such produce from our region, because we are all signatories to or participating in, for instance, AGOA with the United States, the African Growth Opportunities Act, that is meant to allow for the export of not just agricultural products, but also finished products, really, ideally, but to the US. But we tend to have a challenge where, particularly in the case of Nigeria, where they say we have not met certain requirements in terms of standardization, in terms of labeling, in terms of packaging and all of that. So things as simple as yam sometimes cannot be exported to the US because they say we have not met certain requirements.
State speaking, Tuggar said Nigeria's quest for a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council (UNSC) cannot be overemphasized, stressing that nearly 70% of the UNSC decisions are on Africa, yet the continent remains without a permanent representative. He advocated for Africa's rightful place in global decision-making bodies, noting Nigeria's commitment to representing both Africa and the Global South, even as he rejects the idea of a rotating UNSC seat for Africa, admonishing Nigeria's historical leadership in defending African interests, particularly in combating racism and colonialism.
Beyond that, everywhere we went, we also had the opportunity to discuss and solicit support for Nigeria's intention to become a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, because this is something that is a hot topic at the moment. And all the countries we visited said they are in the same region, but they know that there's no other country that is best suited, best qualified to speak on behalf of others, to speak on behalf of the continent more than Nigeria. And they assured us of their support. It's important that Nigeria is in there. It's important that Nigeria represents and speaks for. United Nations Security Council still remains very important, because this is where key decisions to do with health, to do with climate change, to do with population, to do with education.
The minister argued that Nigeria's long-standing dedication to these causes propelled it to a permanent UNSC seat. Vince says Okushi, QTV News, Nigeria.